you had your time again, would you make the same tyre choice?
Yeah, the tyre choice I think was spot on. I was a little bit cautious early on with that tyre choice, but at the end it was definitely the tyres to be on, and I felt that could have definitely won the race, that tyre choice. But we just run out a little bit of time on the grid. We didn't get a full dry set up in the front, and we were just on bottom. When it did dry up and I could push on, I couldn't brake. So yeah, a little bit of just run out of time really. But yeah, I felt we got the most out of what we had, and felt a massive roadblock at the end with James and with Michael. But to beat him with the issues that we had with the front, I was really happy.
Was some contact there at the end, at Lodge Corner, some contact?
No, I just did a big endo again because it hit the bottom so hard. I lifted the rear and I ran wide, and I thought, oh no, that's lost my race. And I looked over my left shoulder and they both ran on as well. So yeah, it was, to be honest, a bit of saving grace because I think they'd have passed me on the brakes if it wasn't for that.
How do you sum up this weekend, Leon?
Quite positive. It's mixed conditions. It's the first time we've been in these conditions. Oulton Park, it's quite a challenging circuit for me to come back to. So to come away with a win and a third in these conditions, you'll take it all day long.
Brands Hatch next. What are your thoughts on that circuit?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's it's the Indy track. It's always close action racing, and hopefully we can have a little bit more sun and we'll give it another go there.
Blimey, Christian, that was some race, wasn't it?
Yeah, amazing. I actually came to the grid and I wanted straight away. I said into front slick rear, and I was sort of overruled a little bit. But it was kind of a strange race. I didn't know Coop had a slick on the rear. He was incredible at the start of the race. It was sort of back to front. He was quicker when it was damp, and then sort of a bit later on I sort of pegged him in and I had the inters on. So it was strange race. He just tried to conserve the rear tyre because I knew it was gonna go off. And I was watching my pit board. We had +8 at one point, and that dropped down to +5.5. So I think the guys with the slicks on were then really starting to peg me back in. So sort of managed that, and then we got a few drops of rain, and that sort of went back up again with a few laps to go. So I knew that all I had to concentrate on was who was in front of me, which was Coop. He was mega strong on the brakes into pretty much everywhere. So it was difficult to make a move. I sort of was getting the run out of the first corner a few laps, and so Cascades was going to be the place, and it sort of was. It was a difficult move, so I had to sort of run him a bit wide. It was not ideal, but it had to be done.
Coots, how good does it feel to get that first BSB victory?
Yeah, I've had 3 podiums now. I've had a couple of seconds and a third, and albeit on different machinery. Today, the race win obviously is pretty amazing, but more importantly for Build Base and for the BMW guys, that's where it lies for me. It's a place I feel that I feel at home, and it's something that I've strived for since leaving the team back in 2011 as Superstock champion. And I knew that there'll be a day when I can win on that bike. Today was the day we seized every opportunity, and it was tricky early on in the race with a slick rear, but I pushed on and sort of gave myself a bit of an advantage. And if anything, I was a little bit too cautious when the rain came. But I think when you lead in the race, you're the first person into the flagged area where it's raining. Christian took out 2 seconds at me, and I panicked. And I just thought, regroup, all right, okay, and the time started to come again. And when it came past with the intermediate tyre on, I was like, whoa, it's a bit odd. I felt that we'd pulled away from that sort of bunch of riders with the intermediates on, and I was going to have a go into the last corner, and I knew I was strong on the brakes. Christian, being typical Christian, went in so deep. I was like, well, if you can stop that, you can have it. But he didn't, and I seized the opportunity. And it's quite ironic, really, because we've been in that position before. Yet we're only on 600s, and I ride with him a hell of a lot, and I know exactly how he rides, which is, I guess, I use to my advantage. Like Christian says, you never know who you're racing in this championship. But I do know how Christian rides, and I knew that he would be deep into that last corner, and so drag to the line was. Felt pretty good.